Let's get our left side crank seal installed in the Yz125 motor along with the stator plate and the flywheel. You guys say I'm dragging the build, so let's do this all in one part. So let's take some grease, and then we're going to take our left side crank seal and put just a tiny bit on the outside. And then once that's done, we're going to do even less on the inside, and then we're just going to come over here to our motor, line it up and kind of press fit it in. Once your seal is actually lined up and kind of sitting in there, you're going to want to find a socket that'll fit over your crankshaft, but it'll also be the exact same size as that seal. Now we're going to just take that socket and hammer our seal in, making sure it goes in straight. So after tons of tapping later, I think we finally got the seal installed. I put this plastic around my crank threads because I didn't want to mess it up. I wasn't sure if my socket was deep enough, but I'm pretty sure it was. Our threads are just fine. Let's just wipe off all the grease right here. And sweet, that seal looks like it's installed to me. They said to have it flush with the case, and it looks pretty flush, so I think we're good. I've never done crank seals before, so we're all kind of learning here. Now I did realize we are going to have to take those off to do the leak down test. But let's just go ahead and throw them on anyway, because I told you guys we were gonna. Let's install the stator plate and the flywheel. When I took the motor apart, I left the screws for the stator plate in there, so that way they're easy to find. Let's get these 3 screws pulled out. I got the screws taken out. I don't really like how dirty it is in here. I definitely forgot to clean it, so let's actually clean it up real quick. This will literally take 2 seconds. There we go, that's quite a bit better. Now we can actually finally throw that stator plate on. This thing's pretty easy to install. You're just going to want to line up like your old marks. If you can see, there's a Sharpie mark right there, so we're going to have to tighten it right here for our timing to be right. Now, as easy as that all was, all we have to do is put our flywheel on now. You want to make sure your woodruff key is actually in your crank, and then there's that little slot in your flywheel. You're going to line that up with that woodruff key, just like that, and then you're going to slide it on. See, next we would put the flywheel nut on and actually torque it to spec, but I just realized that I'm actually missing the washer underneath it, so we actually got to get that washer before we get that put on. Like I said, we got to take all this off anyway, so we could actually do the leak down test on that crank seal.